Hello everyone. Today we're going to be doing a really quick and easy 10 to 15 minute cramps relief yoga sequence. So it's that time of the month. Means you're feeling a little bit bloated, you're feeling kind of cramped up, and regardless of the heat pads and the pills you're popping, you're still feeling a lot of pain. So I'm hoping that this sequence is going to help you, and the real key here is it'll help you kind of compress and contract and also release the muscles around your uterine wall so that you can feel relief from your menstrual cramps. Your menstrual cramps actually originate from the fact that your uterus is trying to shed the lining, and so by helping it kind of contract and release, you're helping your body ease and relax those muscles so that you can also stop feeling those cramps and pains. Ideally, what you'd like to do after the exercise is maybe put a heat pad or a warm rice bag over that area to continue the relaxation. But otherwise, just the 10-15 minute practice will make a huge difference. So we're actually going to be starting in child's pose, and really all you need is a yoga mat, comfortable, or just whatever clothes that you're wearing in that moment. We're not going to be doing any huge stretches, so as long as you're able to do general movements, you should be fine. If you want to, you could grab some yoga blocks and pillows for extra comfort, but the idea here is really that this is a quick and easy sequence that you can do almost any time that you need. And so we're going to start in child's pose. And most of the sequence is going to happen on the ground, so there's no strengthening or anything like that happening. So starting in child's pose, we're going to go ahead and open up our knees as wide as we can. All right, and here I really want you to try to find that extra wide point, and you might want to just feel a little bit what the joints are like, your pelvic muscles. Maybe it's a little bit tight, and just move it up and down a little bit. You might feel some tensions in your hamstring and your glutes. And then once you feel like there's some ease, you're gonna sit down and really push with your hands so that you sit as deep into this child's pose as possible. And then you're gonna let your forearms come down, and you can let your head drop. And we're going to breathe here for just a couple of moments. And with every breath, really think about relaxing those walls. Think about relaxing your entire pelvic area. With every inhale, imagine bringing fresh air and energy to that area. And with every exhale, really imagine your muscles relaxing, decompressing. All right. Very gently, we're going to inhale and push the ground away with our hands. Our elbows will come up. We can gently come up halfway, bring our knees in, and then just shift forward into a tabletop. Get your hands below your shoulders, and we're gonna go and do a couple of cat-cows just to warm up the spine. Oftentimes, the pelvic pain area also affects our lower back, so we really wanna take care of this area. So we're gonna very gently take an inhale. We're going to lift our chest up. We're going to bring our tailbone up towards the sky and let our stomach drop. So we're trying to compress the lower back. And then exhale, we're going to round the top of our back, open up those shoulder blades, tuck in that tailbone, and then you're going to suck in your gut a little bit. You can look towards your belly button or towards your feet, and really push the ground away with your hands. And then inhale. In every movement, I really encourage you to imagine moving the one vertebrae at a time. And then exhale back to cat. Go ahead at your own pace. Find the little areas that are just a little bit, that have little kinks in them maybe. And just really move through it all so it soothes your lower back. And it soothes your spine. And when you're ready, you can come back to neutral. And we're going to do a quick child's pose, this time with your knees together, just to release that lower back. Again, this is a very gentle, almost yin-like yoga sequence. So take your time. And if I'm going too fast, pause the video, ease into it. If you feel like you need to stay in child's pose for a couple of minutes longer, it's really not a big deal. All right. Then we're going to come forward and we're going to bring our hands to the front of our mat and we're going to lower down into a cobra. So we're going to go down to the ground and then inhale, lifting our head up and leading by our chest into a cobra. Exhale, come down. We're going to push ourselves up a little bit. And then at about halfway point here, you're kind of at a tabletop. You're going to bring your right leg forward into a pigeon pose. So your right leg is bent. And then you're going to let your left leg glide. So you're probably around here and you'll just glide backwards to open up this whole hip area. Drop that foot. And then this pigeon pose is really great to target that sciatica area. It'll stretch your glutes, your hamstrings, but you have to take it slow. So what I like to have people do is take an inhale, and then on the exhale, just with the support of your hands, slowly walk down with every exhale. And you'll see that it's really the bending at your hip that's doing the motion. And if you feel stuck, then just stay there and breathe a little bit more. This will come and really ease that lower back. And eventually you'll find your way to the ground. If your head can't touch the floor, you can always grab some yoga blocks, a pillow, a cover. If you don't have any of those handy, just stack your fists on top of each other. And you can drop your forehead right on top of them. And once you're here, take your time. We're going to be here for a good 5 breaths. Make sure your hips are level so it's not dropping on one side or the other. Your shoulders should be parallel to your hips and your hips should be parallel to the floor. With every inhale, fill up those lungs. And with every exhale, find a little bit more space. And you could probably even stretch a little bit deeper and sit a little bit flatter or a little bit closer to the ground. Again, if this posture feels good for you and you want to stay here longer, just pause the video until you're ready to come out of it. The longer you stay in it, the more you're going to feel this whole right hip area relax. And you'll feel that you can go deeper and deeper the longer you breathe into it. When you're ready, you can slowly come back up. And again, we're going to use our hands as support. We're going to glide our left leg forward. And then we're going to shift our right leg back. We're going to very quickly go into a quick child's pose. And then come back forward, slide back down, and lift our head back up into our cobra. Exhale down. Push yourself back quickly, or briefly I should say, into a child's pose for just a second. And then we're gonna bring that left leg forward and we're gonna go ahead and do the opposite side. So here again, you can bring or glide your left or your right leg out to bring your hips down a little bit closer to the ground. Feel free to adjust your leg. Some people like in pigeon pose, they like to have their leg parallel to the short side of the mat. Some people like it at an angle. There is no perfect way. You do whichever way feels good for you. I can't for the life of me bring my leg to be parallel. So this is what feels good to me. The most important is to have those hips parallel to the ground so that you're really getting the right stretch in your sciatica area down to that hip space. And then as per the other side, gently get down to where you want to be. And just rest your forehead, close your eyes. Take deep inhales and deep exhales. Again, if you're comfortable in this posture, you can pause the video and come back to it when you're ready to join me. Otherwise, when you are ready to come out of this posture, gently push yourself up with your hands. And then this time we're just going to fall to the left hip and we're going to swing or just bring our right leg to the front. And we are going to go into a reclined butterfly pose, which is one of my personal favorites. And if you're in a position where you can't do the full sequence, just doing this pose will feel so good. So you're gonna bring your feet together, and this is actually an extension of the cobbler pose. So you're gonna bring your feet together, make sure you're not pulling on your feet. Let your knees drop to each side. Take an inhale, lift your chest up, and then slowly we're going to place our hands behind our back, fingers pointing forward. You might need to adjust your placement on the mat a little bit. And then very slowly we're going to ease down. And this is where if you have yoga blocks or a pillow, it would be really great. Otherwise, just let gravity do its work. And you're going to ease down onto the ground. And from here, I like to come and place my hands right on my pelvic area, just so that I can really bring my focus to the right space. But you're going to try to relax your legs. So if you're holding on to any tension, just maybe squeeze your bum a little bit and then relax. And then really let gravity do its work for you. Let your knees drop on each side. Close your eyes and breathe gently through your nose. With every inhale, we're trying to bring fresh energy to your entire pelvic area. And with every exhale, we're trying to release those tensions. So inhale, fill with new energy. Exhale, relax. You're going to stay here for about 3 more breaths. Take your time. If this feels good for you, again, feel free to pause this video. And then press play again when you feel good to join back. The longer you stay, the more it will relax. This is also a great spot if you have a rice bag or a warm bottle to place on top of your abdominal area. That'll help all the muscles relax even further. And as much as possible, you want to keep your back flat to the ground. So you're not arching your back in any ways. Really try to press down and keep a neutral spine as much as possible. When you're ready, we're going to bring our knees together. So you might need a little bit of help from your hands just to coax your knees back. And then from here, we're just going to windshield wipe our legs a little bit to go into a little bit of twist. So you imagine your knees glued together as one unit, and your shoulder blades are really glued to the ground. And then you're just going to move your knees together in unison from one side to the other. I like to keep my hands on my hip. It helps me keep my upper body stable, I find. But you can obviously open your arms up in cactus or a T shape. It's really up to you. But just go through this windshield wiping movement a couple of times. I like to inhale at the top and exhale when I let my legs drop. I find it lets me go into a deeper stretch. And really do it slowly so you can really let your muscles go through all the micro movements. And when you're done with that, you can come and bring your knees in and give yourself a tight hug. Show yourself some love, some tenderness, some kindness and patience. And you can rock a little bit side to side. Give yourself a little bit of a lower back massage. It helps to massage the spine. And really hug your knees tight into your chest. So there's a little bit of a compression happening. And from here, you can either relax into Shavasana, or for those who want one last posture, you can go ahead and grab your feet and push up into Happy Baby. Open up those legs and pull your feet down towards the ground. And just continue to rock a little bit side to side, relaxing that lower back and really letting your lower body relax, chill, and release any tension that you might be feeling. And when you're ready, go ahead and stretch those legs out. Place your hands on your hips. Close your eyes. Go into a Shavasana. And stay here as long as you'd like. Thank you so much for joining me today. I hope this short sequence helped you a little bit with your menstrual cramps. The more you do this sequence, the more at ease your muscles will be. And it's a little bit preventative, so you're going to feel less pain and tension in the future the more you do this practice. And although I like to do this close to my menstrual cycle or at the beginning of my menstruations, you can obviously do this anytime you need a little bit of TLC, a little bit of tenderness and care to yourself. Thank you so much for joining me.